I know everyone wonders why anybody lives in Gotham City, but seriously, why the hell does anyone live in Gotham City? I've narrowed it down to two reasons: extremely low rent and the women. It's Halloween, the spooky holiday, so I'm reading about my favourite Batman villain ever, the Calendar Man. Nah, I'm joking, it's obviously the Scarecrow. A fight against the Scarecrow is a battle against your greatest fears. He knows how to twist your world into a nightmare, either through his fear toxin or through his psychiatric training. He's not often a problem you can just punch, and I like how he parallels Batman by choosing fear as his weapon. In my opinion, Scarecrow should be the top dog when it comes to Batman baddies. And of all the Gotham villains I wouldn't want to bump into in a dark alley, Crane tops the list. So I'm going to look at 3 stories starring the Master of Fear, and it's far too scary to do it alone, so I'm bringing you with me. The Scarecrow's debut issue from way back in September 1941, nearly 100 years ago. Check out that sick art, the raw fear in the drawing of Scarecrow towering over the heroes like he represents how hard it'll be for them to overcome the fear Scarecrow brings. And that prose there, mate. Across the Batman's horizon moves a new and terrible figure, a fantastic figure of burlap and straw, with a brain cunning and distorted. They make him look and sound so cool already, setting him up as this unconquerable challenge for Batman and Robin to overcome. We learn of Jonathan Crane, a psychology teacher at a university with, let's say, unorthodox teaching methods. Belittled by colleagues for his strange ways. Maybe insults haven't really changed that much in 82 years. Johnny Boy takes their insulting nicknames and turns it round on him, dressing like the Scarecrow they mocked him to be, and falling into a life of crime. I wonder why the writer didn't have him try and get revenge on his colleagues. I think later on in the series they say he did, but it isn't shown here. He dresses up and just does this hired goon thing for local businessmen, hiring himself out as a boogeyman mercenary to scare their enemies into surrender. His first assault gets the attention of Batman and Robin when he non-lethally shoots his victim to scare him a bit, leading to his first fight with the Caped Crusader, which Scarecrow seems to win quite easily. Back then, Batman was just a man, a highly capable warrior, but flawed and, with luck, beatable. Not like nowadays. Pretty funny how he just chucks this bin at Robin as well. The next night, Scarecrow makes his first kill when he returns to finish off the victim he shot, because he refused to follow Scarecrow's orders. Even the guy who hired Crane to terrorise his rival seems appalled, but Jonathan doesn't really care because the money and the feeling of power intoxicates him beyond reason. But Crane's soon reminded actions do have consequences when the university's president sacks him for the gun thing in the classroom. But if anything, he's happy about it because it means he can devote more time to terrorising Gotham. The president meets an old friend that you're not going to believe who it is. It's Bruce Wayne, the Prince of Gotham. And by night it's Dark Knight Defender, the Batman. Catching up on recent events in each other's lives, the president speaks of Crane's firing, talking about his nickname and his sudden influx of sweet, sweet cash. Secretly the world's greatest detective, Bruce puts all his training to use and theorises that the Scarecrow, fear-obsessed crime lord, and the Scarecrow, fear-obsessed local nerd, may be one and the same. Scarecrow's campaign of discomfort continues until, hang on, why does this fella look like Hitler? Anyway, Scarecrow's parade of panic continues until Gotham's Guardian catches up during an attack on the local department store. Robin actually does something cool, and the straw man gives him the slip once again. The robbery of 2 rare books reinforces the idea that Crane is responsible to Batman, so he infiltrates Crane's home, in disguise of course, but it's a bad disguise because Johnny sees right through it straight away. Now he knows the goddamn Batman's on him. The Scarecrow accelerates his plans. I like when characters say "the" before the name of the heroes and villains. It really makes them seem larger than life. Look out, it's the Batman. Here comes the Spider-Man. It's just boss. In one final showdown, Scarecrow goes for the kill, but even a master of fear is no match for teamwork as the dynamic duo sort him right out. The only fighting he'll do is in a prison cell. The hell does that mean, Batman? Don't drop the soap, Crane. Good first outing, I think. He got his theme sorted out straight away and cracked on with terrorising the town, even definitively winning that first skirmish with Batman in one punch and all. Impressive. No fear toxin yet, but this first issue had Crane using his brain, his psychology to frighten his foes, which is cool too. Oftentimes, Scarecrow stories end the same way. Little bit of taste of your own medicine, doctor, and it's back to Arkham. But a good Scarecrow is deadly with or without his formula. From 1941 to 1968, next we're looking at a milestone issue in the career of the Caped Crusaders. Issue 200 in a terrifying tale titled The Man Who Radiated Fear. Scarecrow's back, and he's developed this pill that makes whoever take it radiate an aura of pure horror, inducing raw, unhinged fear in everyone they face, including the Batman. They bait the heroes in, and when the crow comes calling, Batman and Robin find themselves too creeped out to crusade. Can I just say, have you noticed the raw story you get with these old issues? If this come out today, they'd have thrown a to be continued straight after Batman and Robin got gassed, and it would have been part 1 of 4. Continuing with the issue, Alfred reminds them of their origins because this is a milestone issue and that's a good way to fill up pages. And the dynamic duo are at it again. This time though, they're not messing around, they kick some serious ass in this montage. First they clown on the Joker, next they squish Killer Moth rules, mate. And finally the Penguin melts at the raw, renewed confidence of Batman and Robin. Was this all the same night? Bloody hell, Gotham. Anyway, on every villain they clobber they find some strange straws. The Scarecrow's calling card, apparently. 2 red, 4 white, 5 blue, baffling. Scarecrow knows Batman's looking for him, so Crane shows he's actually got some balls and goes out to face him, positive that his fear stink will be Batman's end. The heroes put on brave faces, but the fear ends up being too much, and they pass out from the fear. Instead of just shooting them in the head though while they're unconscious, Scarecrow sets up an elaborate supervillain trap, but the gun he uses reminds Batman of his vow to his dead parents, and the wires remind Robin of his vow to his dead parents, giving them both the resolve to finally face their fears, and now it's the Scarecrow's turn to be afraid. Turns out the straw they found on villains gave them the address of the shop Crane was going to rob. The colours were the American flag and the numbers represented numbers. 2 red, 4 white, 5 blue gave them 245 Flag Street. And it also gave them a date. It was February 4th at 5 o'clock because Americans do the date a weird way with the month first. So hang on, it wasn't actually really a Halloween story, was it? It was a February story? Ah well, at least we had fun, didn't we? But we're not done yet, because our horrifying host has time for one more terror-tinged tale for tonight, titled Dark Night of the Scarecrow. Teenagers. A slumber party prank's being set up by the popular girls as the victim, Lindsay, arrives. Attention soon taken off her arrival as they notice a creepy scarecrow in the back garden. Ooh, spooky. Cutting back to earlier in that day, Lindsay's faceless psychiatrist talks her into going to the party even though Lindsay knows it's going to be a prank on her. Back at the party, while the plan to prank Lindsay hits a bump, something else goes bump. In the night, some evil entity attacks, using the bully's fears against them. One with a fear of the dark disappears in the dark. One with fear of heights falls off the roof. Each of them get punished with their own phobias until the architect of their terror reveals himself. And who could have guessed? It's the bloody Scarecrow. Lindsay's psychiatrist turned out to be none other than Jonathan Crane, and he's eager to drag Lindsay down to his level, offering her the chance to get revenge, but before she can do anything she'd regret, the Batman arrives. And amid this throwdown between the two titans of terror, Lindsay makes a choice. The Scarecrow caws no more as Lindsay refuses his call to evil. Or does she?